And if Koyuki wins, I'll do whatever you want.
2014, okay? 2014 was a decade ago, all right? You niggas are getting very, very old, okay? And unfortunately, I'm up there with you at this point, cause I thought that was like 5 years ago, my nigga, like 10 years? 10 years? I mean, 2014 was such a good year, no bullshit, I'm not gonna lie to you. And one of those reasons for why it was such a good year for me is because of the Figuarts Naruto line, okay? Or in specific, okay, the first figure in the Figuarts Naruto line, the beginning of something beautiful. And then that beautiful thing kind of got destroyed, and then they kind of canceled that beautiful thing, and then it kind of came back in the last couple of years. But you know, the start of Tamashii Nations making Naruto action figures, articulated figures, starting off with a bang, obviously, with Naruto. Like, who else were they gonna make? You know, they made Naruto and Sasuke first. And I'm here to talk about this figure today because I love this figure. You know, I've had it for a long time, and it's one of my grails, quote unquote, maybe just because it's one of my first import figures I've bought before. So, you know, it's a special figure for me. I love this figure. In terms of how other people feel about this figure, a lot of people don't like this figure. Fair enough. Okay, it does have a lot of problems, but it was 2014, so, you know, get off dick. Okay, chill out. It was 2014. But a lot of people really don't like this figure for a multitude of reasons. We're going to get into that today. We're going to talk about it. And yeah, my nigga, I mean, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to talk about this figure, man. I did make a video about this figure on my channel a little while ago, but it wasn't really that good. It was one of my first videos. I don't like it, so I'm basically redoing it with better editing and shit. So yeah, if you do remember that, well, I mean, thank you for watching, my nigga. And hope y'all enjoyed this review on Absolute Peak. Now, getting the packaging out the way first real quick. Just a wave of nostalgia, man, right? The original boxes that they used for the old Naruto figures and the Dragon Ball line from Tamashii Nations. I love these designs so much, man, right? I've talked about them a lot, not really in detail, but I've definitely said my piece about how I feel about the new, cleaner looking boxes. Like I said, they're fine, but they have nothing against these boxes, man. Just so fucking cool. It feels really chaotic. I love the different colors and patterns on the box. They even have the little clouds by the name right here on the side, Naruto's name. It looks so fucking cool, bro. Like the brush strokes around his picture. It's so cool. I mean, it looks like it's a little bit faded now, honestly, because of how old it is. But for the most part, like I said, man, this shit looks so fucking cool, bro. Okay, on the back, you just got some standard poses. Got some pictures of his faces, him using the Rasengan. This Rasengan effect piece has not aged the best, but we'll get into it later. But yeah, man, got some Japanese words over here, some Japanese phrases. I can't read any of this, but you know, some English here and there. Figuarts on the top. And yeah, man, the box just looks really, really good, really cool. And yeah, I love this box. So yeah, I've been yapping about a box for a minute. I gotta get out of here. All right, now we gotta talk about how this figure looks. And now I'm not excited for this portion because I can't be biased, okay? I'm gonna be as unbiased as humanly possible, right? Usually I would just ignore people's negative opinions on this figure, but you know, it doesn't look great. Okay, now just looking at the face sculpts, you know, the head sculpts, I mean the hair as well, but you know, looking at the faces first, yeah, it's not really Naruto, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks very botched. It looks almost looks like a knockoff, honestly, at some point. Some of these facial expressions, especially the yelling face, look pretty terrible. I cannot lie to you. It's very jarring to look at. Damn near gives me nightmares. But, you know, it's still, you know, I feel like for 2014, for the first import Naruto figure on record that I know of, you know, it's not bad. I don't think it's terrible, but it sure as hell isn't Naruto, though, all right? Does not look great. Facial expressions are a yikes for me personally, right? Now, getting into the hair. I think Tamashii Nations did a fine job with the hair. I think it's sculpted okay for their first Naruto figure. It's fine. The color is definitely off, which you'll realize with the rest of the figure that all the colors are pretty much wrong. They went for this more toned down look, which I mean is cool, but like it really is supposed to pop. His outfit's supposed to pop, the jumpsuit, but it's all this toned down. Like everything is darker than it should be. Like the hair is like this yellowish red color when it should just be straight bright yellow. So not a huge fan of that. Like I said, the sculpt is fine. I don't like the front of the hair, how it's sculpted, like it's going forward, but it's not going up. It looks very strange. The little spikes right here. Not a fan of that at all, but you know, the headband is black. The black parts of the jumpsuit look good. Like I said, the orange is like this really darkish orange. It has some shading throughout, which does look nice, but it's really, really dark. It's not supposed to be this color. It's supposed to be a brighter orange, a lot brighter. But I appreciate the interpretation, but I'm not, like I said, it's not, you know, I don't like this orange. It's kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of ugly, but I can look past it. All right. Another very strange design choice that Tamashii Nations went with is they did not include his kunai pouch. I don't know why, right? They just gave him the white wrappings with no black wrapping with the kunai sheath at all. I have no idea why they did this. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea. I don't know if they were just like, fuck it, we don't want to do this. They're a little too lazy. I don't understand. Like, you know, at this point, it's like, why'd you even give him the white wrapping? You should have just left nothing on his leg, but I don't know, man. The third release in the entire line literally had it. Kakashi, the original one, does have the kunai pouch, so I don't know why they skipped out on Naruto, but they added it later on, so whatever. But yeah, that's also very weird. But other than that, though, the figure, I mean, it's Naruto, man. Come on, you look at this figure, you know it's Naruto. Like, some strange design choices. Not a fan of the colors. Face sculpts are, you know, they have a lot left to be desired. But other than that, I still love the way it looks. Like, for its time, you know, nostalgia. I'm not gonna bring nostalgia into it, but you know, nostalgia. Everything about it is solid. Okay, I think the figure looks fine. Problems, but I think it is aged okay. I also wanted to just quickly talk about some of the QC issues, or the main one that I have with this figure, and that is the paint. All right, I forgot to bring it up in the last section. Oh my god, I'm losing track of my words. But the last section, you know, the paint is very delicate and it gets scratched off very easily. You can accidentally rub your hand on the figure, maybe like trying to grab it or something, and you can literally chip off the paint super easily. I don't know why it's like that, but if you look at the back of the figure, this is like a nightmare for me, right? Like, as you can see, this is not the original paint that was on the figure on the top parts of him. I tried to paint it back when I was younger. I was probably in like 5th grade, right? I thought this was like a little art experiment, and I didn't even get the right shade of orange. I mean, I tried to match it as closely as I could. Basically, I fucked my figure up, okay? This shit looks terrible. I hate myself so much for doing this. Like, if I saw my younger self right now, we would definitely have some words. But yeah, man, just yeah, if you're wondering why it looks like shit on the back, like literal shit, I've made a lot of terrible decisions in my life. Now, my favorite part of the figure is easily the articulation, okay? I think to this day, it is aged pretty okay, pretty fine. For a figure that came out in 2014, Tamashii Nations just knocked it out the park. And it's just so good, man, right? Starting off with the head, you go up around this much. The headband kind of gets in the way, but it's really just the hair. So it can't go up a lot, but it goes up a decent amount. It goes pretty much all the way down. The face can kind of get a little bit stuck, and it kind of blocks away from the chest and the neck piece to go down all the way. But I mean, you don't really need more range than this. I mean, come on, what is he even looking down at? Okay, it's really good. Side to side, perfect. Can swivel all the way around. Neck articulation is phenomenal. Okay, now moving on to the arms, he does have these butterfly joints that work pretty well. They can go up around this much, which is so good. They can come in around this much. Definitely could use a little bit more range, but honestly, or actually no, this is actually pretty phenomenal. I don't think you need any more range than this. I just need to mess around with it a little bit to get it all the way, but this looks fucking crazy. Okay, arm articulation right there is phenomenal. Now moving on, double jointed elbows, standard shit, but you know, always nice to see. Wrist articulation, standard wrist articulation. You can move it in any direction you want, up, down, side to side. Unlimited range there, zero complaints. torso articulation, he can go all the way around, which is dope, perfectly fine. He can go up, but you can see this huge gap between the lower torso and the upper chest area, which is definitely a little jarring, but you know, not too bad. Like, well, it's definitely not great, but like I said, you don't really need him going back like that. Forward, his ab crunch is okay. It's not, you know, it's not great. It's not great, but it's not bad either. You can still get some decent poses with it though. Now moving on to the legs, he does use the drop down method or drop down articulation, so you can drop down his legs and get a lot more range. So that's also really cool. They don't really do that with many figures that I know of anymore, but back then this was like revolutionary shit. So yeah, crazy amount of range with the articulation in the legs when you drop it down. You can do anything you want. He can do the splits pretty well if you just drop it down. Pretty much perfect splits. Double jointed knees, great, fantastic. And then just standard toe hinge and all that stuff for the feet articulation and the ankle articulation. So yeah, like I said, the articulation here compared to what we get today is nothing out of this world, but for back then I think this was great, and to this day I still think you can get them in some fantastic poses. Okay, Tamashii Nations was absolutely cooking here. Now when it comes to accessories, he basically just comes with the same type of accessories any other Naruto release has come with. Nothing too special, but still plenty, if not more than most of the Naruto releases we've gotten afterwards, so definitely no complaints. Starting off with the faces, we've already went over them, but just another quick look. We have the regular stern looking face, which, I mean, it doesn't have too much going on, which is good, because honestly less is more for this figure, because the other facial expressions are not great, as we've talked about. All right, then he comes with his teeth clenched face. Yeah, not much to say, just, you know, not the best. His yelling face, which is definitely the worst out of the bunch. These yeah, just not gonna talk about this one again. And then the smiling face, which, like I said, is fine, but not Naruto. Okay, now moving on to his other accessories, I'll get into the hands actually last. He does come with his pouch right here, which I really love the shading on it. It does look really nice. I did not have it pegged into the figure pretty much this entire review because it is a pain in the ass to mess with, so I was like, it's probably just easier to talk about this figure without it on him. So yeah, there is that. It does have a peg, so you can just peg it in, and it's pretty cool. I do like how it looks. The shading, like I said, is nice. He does come with 2 kunais, which this is back when we used to get 2 kunais for figures, which was fucking awesome. Now you're lucky if you get grabbing hands for a figure or 1 kunai, so I do miss these days a lot. The sculpt work and the paint on the kunai is really nice. It has rubbed off a lot on the handles. It actually rubbed off on the grabbing hands, which you'll see in a little bit. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but like I said, the rest of the kunai actually is sculpted really nicely. Paint is nice, no complaints at all. Double kunais was the shit, man. I wish Tamashii Nations would bring it back. Now moving on to the hands, we have his fist hands, obviously simple. They feel really small for some reason, kind of tiny, but they work, they're fine. He comes with 2 jutsu hands, which is mandatory for any Naruto figure. Come on, man, just simple shit. He comes with 2 grabbing hands, which, like I said before, the paint is rubbed off on them pretty badly, so they have all these black marks and splotches and shit. Maybe I'll fix it one day, probably not, but you know, Then he goes with these 2 pairs of kind of like grabbing hands. He has one that are more out, one that are more coming in. They both look great. The fact that they gave us both of these instead of just one of these is pretty cool, so I like them. And then he comes with his thumbs up hands, man, which are literally the most unique accessory he comes with, in my personal opinion. We have not gotten these since, so yeah, I love these hands. They're dope, they look great, and it's just a really cool accessory. And then he also comes with, of course, the hand that hold the Rasengan. I forgot to show the Rasengan, but yeah, it's, if you've had any Naruto figures after this, you've literally seen this effect piece like 1,000 times. They spammed it. It's fine for the first Rasengan, you know, effect piece. I think it looks cool, but I definitely got tired of it quickly. I don't like it that much, but it's you know, it's yeah, it's fine. I think it was fine. I'm glad we moved on from it though. I think Kid Naruto's Rasengan is the best one they've made, besides maybe Minato's. That one was really cool back then. But yeah, man, accessories wise, he's fantastic. Okay, now quickly for some size comparisons, here he is next to the SH Figuarts 1.0 Kakashi, the SHF Kid Naruto, the SHF Sakura, and the SHF 3.0 Sasuke. And I mean, I feel like for a figure that's this old compared to the new line and you know, an old Kakashi, I think he fits pretty okay. Not the greatest. I mean, I'm definitely noticing how tall Kid Naruto is. He is way too fucking tall. He's like damn near the same height as Sakura. That is completely inaccurate, but yeah, and he's way too close to 3.0 Sasuke's height as well. Just really, they made these figures tall as fuck. But you know, I'm not going to even complain about it because I think they're still fine. But yeah, he fits in scale pretty well. Like I said, Kakashi, he's good. Sakura and Sasuke, he's all right. You know, okay scale, maybe a little too tall, but other than that, I feel like if you were to buy this figure right now and put him in your collection, he would fit pretty much fine, honestly. Now for my final thoughts, you already know my final thoughts. Come on, man. Like, did you see how long I've been dick riding this figure for? Okay, like, come on. I love this figure. It definitely has its problems, but for me personally, it is one of my grails. Something I could never get rid of, never sell. They will be burying me with this figure when I leave this earth. I will be writing that down in my will, okay? Gotta make sure all that's settled and all that's straight. But yeah, man, should you buy it? If you're a huge Naruto fan, then I would say, yeah, it's a really cool piece to have. I feel like you can really appreciate it for what it is. Don't expect anything revolutionary or crazy like we're getting now, obviously. Come in with, you know, or even like old Revoltex. I feel like old Revoltex hold up better than old shfiguarts and Figma figures sometimes. So don't expect that quality either, or articulation, but you know, it's a great figure. Like I said, if you're a huge Naruto fan, definitely would recommend it. The resale prices, I haven't seen them in a while. I know they used to be really high for him and Sasuke. I'm not too sure now with the new line. They probably went down a little bit, or at least a good amount. So like I said, if you really want the figure, I would say yes, it's a solid figure besides the QC issues that it has and just the way it looks and the facial expressions and stuff like that. Other than that, it's a great figure, man, right? And yeah, that's literally all I have to say about the figure. It's a really good figure. And yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Like and subscribe because it really helps out. This video took a long fucking time to make. I don't know why. Is that all my reviews? This might have took the longest, and I've literally made reviews with 3 figures in the review, and like I don't know how this took longer than that, but yeah, I don't know. This video damn near almost got scrapped because of how long it was taking, but I was like, nah, I'm way too deep. All right, I gotta make sure this gets out. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for the support. My dog is barking downstairs. I gotta go deal with that bullshit now. I love my life so much. I really do. So yeah, love y'all, and new videos soon. I'm lying. Definitely not soon. Maybe like next month or something. I don't know. But yeah, goodbye. Just like Cleveland Brown, both them bitches always fat. I'm not finna lie, both of my hands really tied down. All these bitches want me, it don't matter, but they tight now. 27.